Alright guys, so been wanting to make this video. Unfortunately, yesterday I had some technical difficulties with my computer. So, first things first, here's a question someone asked me. Go ahead and pause the video, take a minute to read it, and we'll go through it. Okay, so this person's really asking me, they've been trading since 2009, mostly Forex. They made the move to futures 2014. However, as he said, the grass is not always greener on the other side. To me, that just says that's an information issue. I mean, some people would argue that futures are easier than Forex. And the reality is, it's all the same. So that is an information issue. They've looked at my stuff. I guess they like my videos. Let's see here. They've done many years of charts with indicators. And by the way, when I make these kind of videos, I mark out the person's name. It's easier for me to do a video, typically, plus more people see it that way. Maybe more people learn something from it. So that's why I do that. Anyways, many indicators. They've studied Lance Bragg, all these people. I'm familiar with Max, price action trading. I think his YouTube is still Pat's Price Action, but I think he's a credible guy. I know he trades volume charts, and I know he typically trades two positions where he'll scalp one or multiple off at one point, and then he'll swing the balance, which is fine. And I know he trades primarily, second entries and whatnot. And really, I think Mac learned from Al. I really do. So, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But really, let's get into these questions first and foremost. So, he's saying it's hard to commit. He's not consistently profitable. Hard to admit after 10 years. And that, again, that's an information issue. The more you know, the better you're going to do. Question, and he asked a few questions. Question one: how long did it take you to become comfortable with L? Yeah, I've watched probably 5. I mean, I've probably seen 400 to 500 webinars of Al's. I've probably got 400 to 500 on my computer. So I've seen. I started learning about Al in 2013. So I've had 6 years of watching him, and it's made me very confident in Al's ability to read charts and very confident in the things he's saying that it's correct. And the only way you're really going to prove that to yourself is just easiest way is the webinar. But you got to know the information. You got to really understand its material for it to be effective. So yeah, and I've spent a lot of time in his videos almost and in his books. And then the next question: am I making money consistently? I'm not going to answer. I don't really like to answer financial questions. What I will say though, and I'm doing a challenge for myself, and anybody can join the challenge. And this challenge is 6 months of only studying and no trading. So why would I do that? If I feel confident in Al's information, why would I spend 6 months? And the answer is very simple. I am looking to, this is more to me than just a hobby. This is more to me than just a here and there twiddle our thumbs and hope one day, we make something out of this. This is a many years down the road kind of journey. And what I've learned, if I could go back in 2013, what I would do differently is I'd study for probably 2 years. That's all I would do. And I would just study and study and study and study. And I don't know. I mean, and again, I don't know if I watched a lot of webinars back in the day. So did that help me? Absolutely, it helped. But there's some things looking back that I could have probably learned faster in just the video course. So to me, I kind of see it as I'm 26 years old, turned 26 in July. If I spend 6 months right now, that'll be roughly mid-March by the time 6 months is over with. If I really, really crank out a ton of studying Al's videos, studying Al's webinars, studying his books, studying PowerPoint slides I've made of Al's that are the videos, I mean, I'll be light years ahead of where I am now. And I'm already very confident with Al's teachings. Don't get me wrong. I certainly do not doubt my abilities when it comes to understanding Al. But to me, it's kind of like this. Maybe I could get to where I want to be personally twice as fast, maybe 3 or 4 times as fast, learning the information. I mean, for most of you, I challenge you to do something. It's kind of trading's a lot of false starts. And what I mean by that is sorry about 1 second here. And really what I mean by that is, you start learning, you start doing really, really well, and then, it's a graph. So, you start doing really, really well, and then all of a sudden you start doing really, really bad. So you make a little money and lose a little money. You make some money and you lose some money, and it's a lot of back and forth. Or maybe you're just consistently losing. It's kind of like, I'm trying to fix something real quick. So if y'all don't mind. Oh, that's one. Okay, we're good now. I think. I had to reset. For some reason, it uninstalled TradeStation, and when I went to reinstall it, it just would not install. So here we go. It's kind of, here's an example. I mean, it's a lot of. Best example I can give is, you sell and you just stay short. Next thing you know, you've given your money back. So for me, it's really about saying, hey, how do I limit all the losses? How do I become Al? Because the faster I become Al, I'm just going to get there. I'm going to get to where I want to be quicker. If you think about it, Al's been doing this for 30 years. So right now, you have someone who's made 120 something hour video course. That's 30 years of information. You have hundreds and hundreds of webinars at your disposal. So what? Pay $50. I mean, really do the math. It may seem crazy, but you could, let's say every month's $50. You could pay 12 times 50. Can't even do the math right now. I mean, I could. I think it's like 72, but oh well. I'm going to do it anyway. Just because I don't feel like doing it in my head. 12 times 50. No, I meant 600. I was thinking 12 times 5. Yeah, it's $600 a year. So you do that for, you buy, 5 years, okay? Over the course of time, you spend $3,000. Seems crazy. For 5 years. You spend $3,000 on all the videos. You would have every single video webinar. That'd be, it's a crazy amount. I mean, it is. And so the information, and plus you have three volumes, a 3-volume set book. I know Al's released PowerPoint slides. I mean, the amount of information at everyone's disposal is insane. If someone just chooses to learn it. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, that's why I'm doing that. Well, I think, can I be profitable right now? Sure, I believe I could, totally. But I also know, what if I could be 4 times as profitable as I am right now? 5 times, 10 times more profitable. Most people, what happens to most people? If you look at most people's P&L, They do really, really well, then they take a few trades and they just lose their money. They sell here because it's 3 consecutive bear bars, probably going a little bit lower, and they ignore the fact that it's a big gap, 50% pullback. Or they say, after 3 bull bars, they refuse to say they're wrong, and they stay long, and they stop themselves out up here. They buy up here, even though they refuse to say we're topping out and we're getting bad follow through. They sell down here, they take a loss. They refuse to buy because at that point they're just struck and confused. They sell down here thinking it's an endless pullback when it's really some sort of wedge. And if they would just eliminate those little mistakes, they'd get there. So to this person who made this whole question to me, the reality is this. I've been in this person's shoes. The person's asking me if I'm consistently profitable or if I'm now making money on a consistent basis, as they said. They're asking me that because they don't honestly, and I don't mean this in a harsh way, they do not care if I'm profitable. What they care about is they want to know, is it worth studying? Is Al worth studying? Is all the information really worth it at the end of the day? Can someone become profitable at the end of the day throughout? And that's what they want to know. And to my question, 1,000% I believe that. Totally. If I didn't believe it, I'd have stopped a long time ago. And on this person's third question, what's the best way to study Al's teachings? The books or the videos? Totally the videos right now. So here's what I would do. You hadn't made money for 10 years. Okay? So let's just do a little math for a second here just for fun. 10 years, obviously it's 120 months, but whatever. 10 years times 12 months is 120 months. So I'm asking for 6 months. That's all I'm asking. 6 out of the 120 you've spent. I'm asking for 5%. Just 5% of all the time you've spent learning how to trade. That's it. 6 months out of 120. I mean, think about it. And I'm really, and this person asked me this question, so I'm really speaking to this person, but I'm speaking to everybody when I talk about this. If you've spent 120 months, what's another 6? If you have to be profitable in the next 6 months, well, guess what? You need to stop doing this and figure something else out and come back to it. It's just reality. But what I can tell you is the reason I haven't gotten where I wanted to get faster is the same reason why you have not become profitable in 10 years. And that is, you've studied all these people, you've tried all these different things, and you learned. But you're now on the track of understanding that, hey, maybe Al knows what he's talking about. I can promise you. Like I said, 5%. It's 5% of your total trading time. Give 5% to Al. Give 182 days. Technically, it's 183. I'll let you pick 182 or 183. That's 6 months. Give half a year. Take it one day at a time and give it your best with studying. If you got a full workload, hey, study outside of work. Do what you can. If you have the day off, study. If you got to not watch TV and only watch TV with your significant other or kids or whatever, do that. But I can promise you, if you take this challenge serious, you will get exactly where you want to be. And that's why I'm doing it. So the challenge is simple. Number 1, don't trade. It's that easy. If you're going to use TradeStation, have a purpose behind TradeStation. I'm not going to go all the way back here and look at this day and go, oh wow, what is this? No, what I'm going to do is maybe I'm looking at some of Al's videos and I'm looking at wedge bottoms and I'm saying how, okay, hey, this, maybe this, okay, it's a wedge bottom, 3 pushes down. It's a second attempt at a bottom and then we broke below. Or hey, Al says wedges that are really tight have a higher probability of failing, and break into the downside because it's an endless pullback. Or hey, we got a bear breakout below a wedge. Odds favored a second leg. I want to apply what I'm learning. That's okay, but I want to advise you, don't get too caught up in that. One thing I like to do if I'm reading one of Al's books, he's normally got the time axis or the price axis. I'll go to that chart, find the date. Let's say I'm looking at, Al's looking April 20th, 2014. You just got to play with it, okay? I want to go back to April 20th, 2014, and okay, let's just pretend this is the day. I'm going to say, okay, and I'm going to follow along with Al during the video. Or if it's one of the, if it's a new video course, if Al's got the price and time axis, hey, maybe I'll go to that time period and the same market and kind of follow along with them. But the reality is this: you got 120 hours of video time if you include the Forex course. They say you can only learn 10% of what you read or study or whatever at a time. That means you got to spend 1,200 hours of total video time to really learn it, hypothetically speaking. If you do 2 hours a day, that's 600 days. Take 2 years. If you do 4 hours a day, 300 days. And then what I mean by that is I mean to fully learn. You don't have to learn the whole course to be profitable. That's just what I'm telling you. So remember, trading is all about an equation. Well, everything's an equation. Learning is an equation. And I'm talking about someone that's at 0% out of 120 hours. If I take the video course right now and apply that logic, that's not really true for me. Well, sure, I can learn, maybe 10% of what I study at a time. I already know a lot of the course. I'm very confident in a lot of the course. So maybe I already know, I don't know, maybe I know 50% of the course already. Okay, divided by 2. So maybe I already know. So the reality is maybe I just need to learn 600 hours because, again, if I can only learn 10% of what I'm studying, then 60 times 10%, or I guess divided by 0.1 if we're being technical, 600. So I need 600 hours of video time. Okay, how do I do that? Well, what if I do 3 hours a day, 200 days? What if I do 5 hours a day, 120 days? Okay, what if I do 4 hours a day? So why am I doing this, guys? 150. There you go. So if I need to learn half the course, if I spend 4 hours every day studying the course, I'm gonna get there. And and it's not really, who knows? Maybe I can learn 20% of the time. I don't know. But it's all an equation, guys. That's where I'm getting at. All this to this person's point about Al's really hard. It's a lot of studying, all this and that. It is a lot of studying, guys. But you're getting to learn you're getting to go to the Harvard of trading. If any of y'all like sports, maybe, I don't know. I know you say you're from South Africa, but if you if you've paid attention to any out there, pay attention to the NFL in the United States. If you pay attention to the Patriots, Bill Belichick. It's kind of like you get to learn under the Bill Belichick of coaching. Or maybe if you like college football, you're getting to learn from Nick Saban, the arguably one of the best coaches in college football right now for Alabama. It's a lot. And here's another thing people don't understand. Let's just take the more videos you watch, the videos are compounding. So while 120 hours seems like a lot, the premise is the same on most of them. In a trading range, hey, a lot of overlap. Okay, don't be buying and selling above bars or selling below bars. It's a limit order market. Hey, we've been going sideways for this many bars. Guess what? We're going to continue to probably go sideways. I don't have my measure move set up, but hey, it's a buy the close situation up here. Okay, buy the close, get out over here. Or it's a big bear bar, big risk, 20% chance it is the high of the day. Okay, don't sell down there. So all this stuff compounds with each other. So the more you learn, it actually gets easier and becomes faster to learn everything else because you're getting better at the information. Hey, don't sell this bar. The odds are you're going to get a second leg up, and the odds are even greater you're going to get a second leg up here. Don't buy the close of this bar because you're going to get a second leg down. We're getting a lot of dojis. Okay, so the second leg's probably not going to be very big, so it probably won't go much further. Lots of overlap. Okay, we're probably going to reverse. If I just pick a random day over here, okay, we gapped up. Looks like a large trading range. 2 bear bars, probably going to test the moving average. So probably enough for a second leg down. I wouldn't buy above it. Odds are we're going to get to the moving average. And then what's going on? Looks like a leg in the trading range. So we had 2 legs down, probably going to get 2 legs up. Looks like a bull leg in a trading range. And starting to go sideways over here. Trying to bottom, Do you buy here? You can, but you're now 3 bull bars, 4. But again, a lot of overlap. So it could be leg 1, pull back, leg 2. And not really a small pullback trend, so pretty neutral. Bulls probably get out below that bar. And again, it's fairly tight. Strong bull breakout, okay, probably going a little bit higher, but now we have a bear. Here, let me just do it like this. I don't have my, like I said, I just got this trade station kind of set up. But when you get a strong bar and then you get this bar, bad follow through, trading range bar, odds are you'll get a second leg, but you may not get much more, so we may have to test down here. Could be a measuring gap though, okay? The bears tried several times to close the gap and they failed. Looks like we're going a little bit higher. But bears are having a lot of trouble, so they need to do something. Otherwise the bulls will, end of the day. So here's the deal. It's real simple. The reality is this. I'm a fan of Mac. I like Mac. I think Mac or Pat's price action, same person. He's a genuine dude. But the reality is, he even says it in the very beginning of all his videos. He talks about it. He and in his little book, I read his little PDF book thing. He expects everyone to already have a solid foundation of price action before studying him. That's the problem. So most people study Mac because it's there's less material, but you got to already know a lot of these things. So Mac's kind of taking Al's information, shifting it around into basically saying taking second entries. And again, I haven't studied him entirely, so I'm kind of summarizing him. That doesn't make him a bad trader. He's perfectly profitable, and guess what? He puts his videos on YouTube and he gives free information. He doesn't charge for his YouTube videos, so he doesn't charge a lot at all. He just charged for his book, so can't fault him for that. But you got to know the information to begin with. So here's the deal. The challenge is simple. Study for 6 months. Don't trade. If you give it your best and you really give it your true effort to study, you're going to be light years ahead of where you are now. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you're familiar with Malcolm Gladwell. He created he's famous for the 10,000 hour rule. You got to study something for 10,000 hours before you get good at it. And you don't get too caught up in, is it 10,000 hours, is it 11, is it 12, is it 8? Doesn't matter. The whole point is you got to study long enough to learn it. So the way I see it's this. You're not profitable, okay? You hadn't been profitable for 10 years. Well, I hate to break it, but nobody cares that you've been doing this for 10 years. Nobody cares how long I've been doing it. All they care about is, can you make money right now? That's it. And if you can do that, wonderful. You'll get paid for it. If you can't, you're going to lose money. So if you want to do this for the long haul, and this goes to anybody, if you really, really want to get good at trading, start, as they say, how do you eat an elephant? You take one bite at a time. Take a bite, and you proceed with the day. So if you want to get good at trading, start with the videos. Put your whatever trading platform you use, put it aside. Put your money aside. Don't trade. You don't need to trade right now. Put everything aside and just focus on learning and improving your game. If you do that, I have chills almost thinking about it. This particular person who I'm creating this video for, if you do exactly what I'm about to tell you to do, I don't know if it's going to be, I can't promise you 6 months from now you'll be profitable. But what I can promise you is you will be leaps and bounds closer to being profitable than you are today. I can assure you that if you're honest. It might be 6 months, it might be a year from now, but I can promise you this. You learn all of Al's information, and you will, there's no telling. I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I would be shocked to hear how much you'd be making. Truly would. Al talks about all these people where if you're in the webinar, you start to hear him say, Al, I just can't seem to lose. And it's kind of, it's funny to me because, they'd email Al and say, Al, I keep losing every day. I don't know what to do. And then they'd say, Al, this would be several months down the road or years down the road. They'd say, Al, I used to always wonder why I was losing, and now I can't figure out how to lose. Everything just makes too much sense. It's just human nature to do the right thing. And it's just from understanding. So that's it. Take it from me. I've been studying Al for a long time. I've done a lot of trading throughout the years. But I still probably hold true. If I had to spend more time studying than actually trading, I'd probably lessen my learning curve. I'd sped up my learning twice as fast. I might already be where I want to be already. But I can't dwell on the past. All I can do is focus right now. So I challenge you to join me. Join me and study until mid-March. It's basically 6 months. So what does that entail? Well, several things. For you got the video course to step up to. That's your number one. You got the new video course, came out 2000. Let me show you it. So here it is. You click online course, click Brooks Trading course. You've got 121 videos, 59 hours for the fundamentals. Scroll down here, you've got 72 videos, 38 hours, basically 39 hours for the how to trade, the regular version. If I go to the Forex version, I've got, let it load real quick. I have 35 hours, plus I've also got now 2 hours over here of just bonus stuff. And they're always adding stuff, and even I'll talk today about adding a options course in the future. So here would be my point of attack for you. I would study the videos, hit them hard, and it's the new video course. Go to the Brooks Trading course, just as I showed you, and go to online course. Study that, and honestly, for you, since you just told me you started studying the video course, that's all I do for 6 months. Don't worry about anything else. And here it's going to be frustrating. You're going to watch these videos and everything's not going to click. But just keep watching and keep having faith, and don't try to speed the videos up. Just play them normal speed and do it that way. Here's the next thing I would do. You can see I've done all the videos. I'm not sharing this with anybody. This is all I'm going to show you. Don't ask me for this because this took me a lot of work to screenshot every slide. But here's video 1, and I basically just went through and did this. And that's all I'm going to show you for respect of Al's word. But what it allows me to do is, hey, I can scroll through. I can say, okay, here it is. So ignore this video if I already know, if I'm familiar with terms. Explain everything later. Okay, that's the main points of this video. So here's little things, abbreviations. Okay, so Every market's a trend or a trading range. Okay, that makes sense. We got a below breakout. Channels evolve into trading ranges. Then trading range eventually can resume up and down and get a new breakout. It makes perfect sense. Support and resistance. Support, price below the current price. Sell off likely to pause reverse. Okay, makes sense. Resistance, price above the current price. Okay, makes sense. Rally likely to stall and reverse. Rally, we sold off. Sold off, sold off, sold off. Okay, makes sense. And a breakout move beyond support or resistance. So that's what I would do, and I had that for every video. So get comfortable watching the videos. If you spend 6 months on the video course, I mean, honestly, I really, really hope you do this, and I really, really do. I would love for you or anybody else to, number one, if you're going to take the challenge, message me and let me know. Number two, for you in particular, that wrote me this question, I'd love for you to take this challenge, study really, really hard for 6 months, and send me a message in March telling me just how far you've come. But here's the deal, guys, and let me make this absolutely clear. If you're not willing to do this, and you're not profitable, and you're not where you want to be, you need to ask yourself, why are you trading? Everybody goes down this rabbit hole or this path of, I'm going to study a little bit, and then all of a sudden, hey, I'm just going to trade and see if I can make money. And that's great and all, but when you become actually serious about this, you're going to realize that you got to know the information. So if you got to know the information, you might as well learn the information and move forward. And that's where I'm at. I've spent a lot of time doing this, and like I said, I'm very. You could ask me any slide, any chart, anything of Al's, I probably understand it. I do, but there are certain things I'm not fully confident about. You could give me any one of Al's charts, I could talk about it. But again, I want to be on another level of where I'm at now. And to get there, you gotta do some difficult things. So that's it. If you're going to do the challenge, stick to the challenge. And better yet, why not? Send me a message on the Brooks Price Action website. That's you can find the description and the link below. If you can't do that, ask me in the comment section. If you can't do that, I just can't help you. And another little pet peeve of that, and here's my username. Another little pet peeve of mine, for all you people that listen to me. If you're one of these people, please stop doing this. Please stop commenting on the new video course, and asking questions that are honestly, that just show you have not studied. And I'm not talking about this person right here. I'm talking about the questions of, they're just obvious. No one responds because they're just so dumb. And I don't mean they're dumb in the sense of they're a dumb question. I mean, it just shows someone's lack of unwilling to study the whole course. I remember I saw a comment of someone say, I've seen 2 videos but I'm confused on what a wedge is. It's because you only seen 2 videos. So guys, if you're confused, here's what you should do. Here's what honestly I would do. I would write the question down. And before I ask the question, I would take an honest inventory and say, hey, where would this question apply? One was, if I'm swing trading, how do I know where to get out? Honestly, I just want to smack that person in the face. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but I kind of do. That's basically like saying, hey, I don't want to study the course, but how do I make money? It's an insult to Al. It's an insult to myself. It's an insult to everybody that's spent a significant amount of time studying Al. And the longer you study out, you'll begin to understand. When you put a lot of time into this, you'll begin to understand. So, off that soapbox, if you seriously have a question about the course, write the question down and first inventory and ask, hey, what videos will this apply to? And if you think it's wedges, watch some wedges. But here's the deal. It's really, really this simple. you're gonna have to watch this video course hundreds of times. You're not gonna watch it once. I mean, it honestly, for lack of better words, kind of pisses me off when people comment how they've watched the course once and they're starstruck on why they don't know all the information. It's just not how it works. So I hope you accept this challenge of 6 months of studying. If you do, you'll make wonders for you. But you got to be honest with yourself. Just because you studied for 6 months, you got to put in the work. If you do that, it'll be worth it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So to wrap this up, and by the way, fun fact, I've done tick charts and volume charts. Wow, are they profitable? Yeah, I mean, sure. Let's look at today. My problem with tick charts and volume charts is I can't do this. If I'm, right now, if I'm looking at this, I can go to crude oil. I may have to customize the, I got a lot of stuff I'm kind of downloading on this computer right now since I had to reset everything. But if I want to go to crude oil, I can do that. If I want to go to gold, I can do that. If I want to look at a 60-minute chart, boom. If I want to look at a 15-minute chart, boom. And I know when everything's going to close. I know when this bar is going to close. I know when this bar is going to close. But my problem with volume charts is, number one, it's different for everything. I've always had a problem with them. Is okay, if I do trade volume, and I think you said 6,500. Okay. Number one, the first problem I have is, okay, here it is. Well, on one hand, sure. Are the signals going to be better at times? Yeah, I mean, sure they will. But one of my problem is some of these bars are like, here's one problem I have. They're like every bar is 2 minutes long. So here, this bar, 8:30. This bar is 8:31. So literally in 40 seconds, this bar closes. Something like that. By the time I get to here, we're like 7 bars in, and it's only 8:37. Right here, 13:01:41, 13:01:56. Literally this all happened in the course of 1 minute. Here, I'm going to sell this close at 13:10:45. Okay? We're still on a 5-minute bar at this point. So that's my one really big problem. And all this looks great. My problem is it's easy in hindsight. You sell here, you scalp out, you get out above here, or maybe you hold long and you hold short and you get out above here. I would get out. Trend line break, you buy here. It's a wedge, new high of the day. You get out below this bar, you wait for 3 or 4 bars. You sell, maybe you hold short. We're not closing above the moving average, so it's a sign of selling pressure. You get a strong bear breakout, 2 legs down, right before the report. You get out, and you get multiple bars up. You get a disappointing bar here. You get a big almost an outside up bar, and then you get this big bear bar closing on its low. You sell here, and then maybe you get out here, and then maybe you sell again for double top. You sell here. All that looks easy, but these bars, I mean, literally, it's like these are 1 minute bars. I mean, I don't like that. Why? If I want to do that, here's my argument with that. If I want to trade a 1 or 2 minute chart, why don't I just trade a 2 minute chart? Here we go. Here's my 2 minute chart. I'll just do that. So the reason why I like the 5 minute, number one, is 5 minutes. For one, on a 1 minute chart, things change quickly within the last few seconds, and 1 to 2 minutes is not a lot of time to process. Hey, okay, why can't I just sell right here on a 5 minute chart? Broke strongly to the downside, we went outside up or outside down, whatever you call it. Now we have an inside bar, so an IOI, so a second entry short. I could sell here. I could sell this close. I could sell this doji for a scalp. Pretty big bar up, consecutive bars. I could buy here, all buy the close. I could buy this close. You know, I don't like tick charts because mainly I want everything to be the same. You know, if I'm going to trade Apple, I could trade Apple in this. And by the way, my whole point, another point I wanted to make about the tick charts that I'll show real quick is different markets. So here is the E-mini. So let's trade crude oil. Okay, here's crude oil. These bars right here, 37.22. So here's 37.32. Here is 39. So in 2 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 bars in 2 minutes. Do you really think that means I would have an average time of basically what we said, 5 bars in 2 minutes, 120 seconds? I'd have 24 seconds to manage each bar. I don't like that. So I'm kind of over. So that's all I got with that. So at the end of the day, that's all I got for you. It's a lot of work. There's no easy way to study this. Just put in the time. Yeah, every minute you spend towards studying is one step closer to where you want to get, and you'll get there faster. So that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching.